I'm Fred Wilklow of Wilklow Orchards. We're in Highland, New York. We grow about 100 acres of fruit, berries, stone fruit, apples. Our family bought this farm in 1855. I think it's about 5 years we've been doing fruit shares. Doing a fruit share isn't too difficult. The more variety you have on your farm, the easier it is to do. One of the big considerations for the farm, for us, or any farm looking at CSAs, is if you have the variety to go through the season. CSA members like to see something new all the time, so you really need a variety in the summer, and then when it's down to just apples, they don't get quite as many apples every week. Apples are usually a little bit cheaper fruit, generally sell cheaper per pound than plums and peaches and cherries. So if you have a $10 share, you're getting like 8 pounds of apples, which is a lot of apples to use every week. People just tend to not be able to use that many. One of the things that we just started doing this past year, higher value for the share in the summer when it's summer fruit, and then attribute less money to the fall. They can get a variety in the summer, and then when it's down to just apples, they don't get quite as many apples every week. The time of year when we have a lot of anything, we give a real extra share, which is kind of what I thought is the concept of the CSA. I mean, they're sharing the bounty of the farms. When we package the fruit, the CSA lets us know in the beginning of the year whether or not we can get our boxes back. We don't add on extra for that. We reuse our boxes until they fall apart anyway. So we just make sure it's not new boxes going that day to their CSA. There's always a turnover boxes. You always have to get a few new ones. So we just try to make sure it's not a brand new box going there that we'll lose. If everybody gets 3 pounds of apples or 2 pounds of something, we don't weigh out the individual ones because of the amount of time it would take. So we try to keep the labor to a minimum at home. If it's an item like berries are in containers, pints or quarts, the number of flats or the number of cups, it's picked that way. We tell the CSA what the share is when we deliver it. They like to know a day or two ahead of time. That can be difficult sometimes. Even when I think I know Monday morning what's going to go on the Tuesday CSA, once we get finished picking that day and start to load the truck, we realize that we don't have enough of one item or we have a lot more of another, and so it can change a little bit. I know what we get for retail price, and I usually go like 20 or 25% less than the retail price that I get at the market. I kind of look at it as we're kind of hedging on our crop. We sell it at a little bit of a discounted price. Maybe I could sell it all at the market, maybe I couldn't, depends on the season. But I'm getting the money up front in the spring, which is the time of year that any farm spends more money than they take in. So to get a couple of nice big checks in the spring is very helpful. The CSAs crave information about the farm. And sometimes it's difficult to keep up with it. When they do a newsletter, they'll call me and talk to me about what's going on the farm, rather than me trying to write it, because that just is not going to happen. That's what they want, the connection to the farm.